Dang, bro.
That's how you knew you were soft when you went on Kobe's team and you left the next year. Kobe packed you up because you had to be tough
But
to
the,
put
but
up
the
with.
problem is again I have isn't that the end result? It's the problem I have with like niggas are now saying like, oh, Kobe was a horrible leader because he just yelled at his teammates, and it's like, but if the results were championships, what are we talking about right now?
It makes him a horrible leader. Well, you had to feel good. How many coaches have you had in your life where like
None, actually. Actually, none.
Bro, I've had soccer coaches that would be like, "You are fat. You can't play midfield effectively, fat." And I'd be like, "I am fat. That's tough." And and I went to basketball tryout, bro. I remember in the seventh grade, I went to a basketball tryout. Now for us, they split it up. Elementary school is 1 to 8, so the 4 and 5 have their junior team.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 have their senior team. So I was in seventh grade and I knew I was good enough to be on the team. But literally in front of everybody in the tryout, coach was like, yeah, one person, there was a few people that's like, I mean, they had the skill, but they don't have the conditioning. And I'm like, I'm the only fat guy in this last tryout. So I know he's talking about me. But it's like, that was as obvious as they can make it without it almost being rude.
Yeah.
Why is it not okay to just be like, you just need to work on your conditioning? That the way he needs to work on his shot, or she needs to work on her dribbles, like this. Because wouldn't that be, to me? I receive that stuff better now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it really just depends on the person.
But again, I would argue even further that it's when you're pandering or you're beating around the bush, it's actually detrimental to the other niggas who are actually working hard.
You gotta think about it like that. If a coach says what he really feels, he probably said it before and got in trouble because a parent or a kid can't take it somewhere.
I agree. Yeah.
If a coach said, "Damn, you're a fat. You're too slow to play for me. Try for another school. Just transfer districts. You fat." You can kick the ball, but you can't keep up with it. I can't keep
the ball, but you can't keep up with it. That's wild.
But then that wouldn't make you want to train harder unless you're in a moody.
But I'm gonna keep it a bean with you though. Every sport I've played where a coach, maybe to not that extent, because that nigga's just bugging right now.
Some coaches be like that.
Oh yeah, some coach, but I'm just saying every coach that was like that towards me. And by the end of the season, I was just a better person because
if you made the team,
that.
But even if
I get what you're saying, but even if I didn't make the team, I came back the next year with the motive of trying to make the team and proving you wrong, or just trying to improve to make the team. Because if the end result is me trying to make the team, and then once I achieve it, the goalposts just move and I just make another goal for myself. But I can't achieve those goals unless I understand why I'm not achieving them.
Yeah, so I mean, I remember I was reading I was watching a video that read some studies, but they were describing how people, generally speaking, respond better to, for example, let's say you're playing soccer and like you did a through pass, but it was inaccurate and it got intercepted, right?
Yeah. Instead
of me as a coach saying like, yo, that's a bad pass. That's a bad pass. It registers in your mind that is a bad pass, trying to avoid making that pass in the future. But they said a more productive way to inspire positive change is to, instead of focusing on the negative, focus on the positive and say something to the nature of like, hey, that was a good look. Next time, just drill it in this location and you would have got it. So you're saying the same thing. You're giving the same feedback. What's that?
It wasn't a good look.
No, but sometimes it's just a matter of like the intention was there, and it's like you could find positive things to say. Like even if the shot was contested, you could say something to the nature of like, I know you're hot right now, but you know what I'm saying, you might have been better off just find another teammate. So, but they said people respond better to that.
Like a coach, like say you do that route, you go, oh, that was a good look. Just focus, you know what I'm saying? Kick it that way. But then the game losing move was the thing you told him he did good at, but did it again. But that cost y'all a game. So if you would have told him that was a terrible look, don't do that, that might have saved the game.
I understand what both of y'all are saying. And this is like the duality of what Kobe was talking about when it comes to leadership. He was saying there's so many different ways of leading that it's really hard to determine.
There's no right or wrong way.
Yeah, there's no real right or wrong, but it is the thing about being a leader is always understanding and recognizing the personnel's who they are as individuals, like how they interpret certain things. Like that's probably the greatest thing of trying to communicate to different people is understanding who they are and how they interpret certain actions or verbiage and et cetera, et cetera. So Kobe could get away with talking to Derek Fisher a certain way that he couldn't get away with talking to like Andrew Bynum or Kwame Brown a certain way, right? But it took him a while to recognize he can't just be hard on everybody all the time. So in many cases though, but the biggest thing that I'm trying to get to the point is, I don't think nobody should be punished for that though.
I wonder
like
what he did say.
Huh?
I wonder what Kobe did say.
A couple you say wild shit.
Crazy
Nigga,
shit.
you're off. Stop
Like,
fucking
but you
shooting.
know what's so crazy? They said that Kobe was worse. Like Ron Harper would say Kobe was worse than Jordan. Like the way he talked to people and the way he treated teammates is actually worse than Jordan. I was like, nigga, not Jordan, the nigga that we just saw make fun of a nigga for an entire season because he was a rich. It's like, there's no way Kobe's worse than that.
Hey, come here, let me talk to you right quick. Hey, good shot. Don't take it again. Don't shoot no coach. Tell him he's done.
That's wild to me.